Welcome to the Wibber Circus. I am Aaron. This is a video about things that I try to well, no, this is a video this is a video about things I struggle with as a player because I haven't played TCGs in 20 years. So if you are new to TCG or if you haven't played one since the late 90s like me and you're trying to figure out how to get back into this game and maybe you're struggling at the local games because I am, these are the things that I think about and that I know I need to work on because I still continually struggle with these on site when I'm playing against the guys that have not left TCGs, who've been playing the Magic, and they've got an internal barometer for how all this works. It's stronger than my barometer. First thing I'm working on getting better at is card knowledge. What's in the set? What can it do? That's a big one. Just card knowledge. What cards are possibly out there? Which ones are more likely to be present? Which ones are duds? Not following the spoilers gives you a big disadvantage if you go to a pre-release event because you're just not going to be aware of what's in the deck and you're going to be learning as you build, and the guys around you might be building a lot faster because they've been doing it. That can make it hard to have fun, not going to lie. Now, I like the content. I'm enjoying listening a little bit. I'm not taking all of it in. I'm going to go to a pre-release this weekend, have a good time. I'm probably going to get stomped. Another thing is the mechanics. Understanding the mechanics and the rules, and not just like the mechanic, okay, well, grit takes damage and puts it on to the power, but understanding how that mechanic works in light of the stack. So you've got the card knowledge, you've got the mechanics, and then you've got your stack. When played, when defeated, on attack. These things matter because they determine when things can happen. Like you play Darth Vader, you have a choice of how you resolve what happens on the card. And that can have an impact on the gameplay. But if you don't understand that and how that stack is built, you're going to sit at a disadvantage, and your opponent's always going to be able to, even if they're wrong, they're going to have control over that because if they interpret it a certain way and you just don't know enough to push back, or you haven't seen, you're just going to have to kind of go with it because you just don't know. And I also find sometimes the logic of it doesn't always make sense to me either. So the more you play, the more logical it does seem once you get the handing on the rules, but understand that too. So we talked about you need card knowledge, you need to know the mechanics, clearly, what do the cards do, but then also how the stack resolves. The other thing is combinations. I am horrible about seeing combinations intuitively. It just takes me a lot of time to get the card knowledge, looking at cards, staring at cards, reading cards, building decks. And I do this better physically. It's very annoying, I'm not going to lie. I've tried to do better using, in particular, the SWU, and I think it's SWU is what they call it. I don't know. One of the database tools plus Carabas. Like I try to build there now instead of on paper because I'm a father of 3. I've got a life. It's difficult to get my cards out and build a deck and look at it when I can't actually play test it until the next week. So I'm trying to do more play testing online. And yes, these tools are sometimes broken. Carabas has lots of cards that maybe just don't work quite right, and you're kind of on an honor system like regional governor. You just have to put it in the chat and then hope the person chooses not to play it to be honorable with you. But getting a sense of how the deck could work is very, very helpful that way. So that's another tip, is like stop building in paper. If you don't get to do a lot of play, go build something online and test that out on one of those players. It's really not hard to do. Any laptop can do it. It's all web-based, and it's just a great way for me at least to test out things and figure out combinations and then see combinations other people build. I learn better that way too. Let me tell you, it's rough having a Han Solo Millennium Falcon combination jump on you in a game, and that's the first time you've ever seen it. So that's another one. So we've talked about now card knowledge, we've talked about mechanic knowledge, nuances of the stack, and then play testing, like the ability to play test online. I think it's really critical. And then the other one for me in terms of what I need to get better at is action order. I just struggle to keep up with, okay, if I do this, then this happens, and that comes down to the nuance of what could happen. So I am constantly making really not great choices, I think, sometimes about action order and what unit to take out and when, because I don't see the future threat that a unit could be, because I forget about other bumps in the deck. So again, going back to card knowledge, what is it you're playing against? And then you'll get to know your local players, and you'll understand kind of what they do. Like the guys that I play with, they know that I'm probably going to bring a Tarkin deck because I'm just I like Tarkin. I don't know why. I want to make it work. But I also am kind of allergic to the metas. I don't want to bring a control deck. I played a control deck a couple of weeks ago, and I was just bored to tears. It wasn't even that much fun winning because it was just, okay, I'm going to do that. I'll take that. It wasn't interesting. It just wasn't interesting to me. So figuring out what you like is another one. I'm still struggling with that. I'll be honest. After set 1's done, we're moving into set 2. This channel will be dedicated to a lot of pack openings, a lot of maybe some like drafting stuff if I get content. But mostly just pack openings. I just love opening packs. And then I'll talk a little bit about this, like the stuff I'm learning as a relatively novice player who is not dedicated to this full time. I have a full-time job. I got a family that I take care, family of 5 of total. So like, this is hobby. This is a hobby channel, but I enjoy it, and I hope you're enjoying it too. I'm mostly just trying to go and have a good time. Win, lose, or draw, I'm hoping to go and have a good time. I get a couple of promo packs. Maybe I win an actual pack here and there. Maybe I catch an event where nobody shows up, so I get a top 4. Who knows? there's just a lot of fun with this game. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to try to run as long as I can. Thank you for following along. If there's any other tips that you're finding as a new player that like coming back to this, or things that you're struggling with, please drop that in the comments. I'd love to comment on that or talk more about that in the comments, or maybe make a future video about it. And these are just going to kind of come whenever the mood strikes me and I have a few minutes. I'm not going to be as structured and scheduled as everybody else. You won't see a lot of intros or outros. You won't have a lot of undertone music. It's just going to be me sometimes talking to the camera, hopefully more than often as the packs start to show up in the next week or two. Packs being opened on the channel. Okay, thanks. Have a good time. Bye.